Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who is just 2 cards away from completing their entire set of Gulf War trading cards. Tsunami Boetis.
Every episode, I kind of try and preempt what you're going to throw at me in the beginning because I love your little throwing introductions. And I totally thought you were going to say, currently screaming into the eternal abyss. It's Tsunami Boetis, which accurate. Hi, Mark.
I mean, this is impressive. You're only 2 cards away. I mean, you just got night vision. This is impressive. You're going to be able to sell them for $2 a pop. There's about 500 of them. You'll get like a G for it, even though you paid probably what? Like 800 for all of them. You'll make like a $200 profit. That's not bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, closer and closer to making that horror movie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, everybody counts.
Horror movie featuring one night. One night sleeping with my mother.
Eating cereal whilst in a costume.
In a night costume.
I remember that shot, and I love that shot too, because it has a little bit of a Dutch angle to it, just to make you feel kind of like it's off-putting to see. And I don't know why he's dressed like that. There's no reason for Jim Parsons to be dressed like that, but it just works in the content. In this world, it works, I think. This is an interesting world Braff has created. It's not this world. Does that make sense? Like, this is this is like the Braff timeline world, I would say.
Absolutely. I think it's very quirky, but also very what's the word for it now? It's very hyperbole. It's very, we all have our weird things and whatever, but I think he just decided to really show it, make it big, make it yeah, world's weird. I have to sit here and look at this guy eating it. Why does he still have his night costume on? Well, he doesn't have to. Take it off. What is wrong with you? Why do you have to put it on now? Does it take you 3 hours to get into it? Is that why you sitting there already at home with the thing? I don't know. But also, I actually forgot Jim Parsons was in this. With the rewatch now, I was like, oh, of course. I remember that whole scene, but I forgot that it was Jim Parsons. It was fun doing a little rewatch. I mean, I watched when Garden State came out, I watched it. Gosh, this was a movie that I would have, grabbed every second day and just put on. And it was such a comfort watch, really. I enjoyed it. You laugh every time there in the beginning where he parks and it's still got the, what do you call it?
The fuel
gas,
pump or the
gas pump. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've watched it a lot, but in recent years, I mean, it's been a while. So it was so fun watching it again and seeing, okay, so how does it translate now? And it was interesting.
Yeah, I haven't watched this movie probably since I watched it a lot in college.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe like '08 was the last time I watched it, and so I was kind of like, what's Portman's character going to be like? Do I remember this? What's Braff's character like? But I still think it holds up because I was thinking about this and I was reading really hateful articles about this movie, and I listened to the commentaries, watched it again, kind of just reabsorbed it. And this is a $2.5 million movie that was shot over 25 days. And I don't think Braff ever thought that this movie would spark a really an excellent selling album. I don't think he thought that this movie would find the second life, the first life. I mean, this movie was never released in its maximum release was 813 theaters, and it still pulled in 27 million in the States in August when it was really busy, a lot of competition. So I don't think he ever anticipated this. So all this hate about this movie and Garden State fanboys and this, that, and the other. I mean, I just went all the way back to the core of it and just thought about how I felt in 2004 when I watched it and maybe what he was trying to tell. And I still think it's a really fun movie. I enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Honestly, I also went back and read everything that people said, and it was very interesting because at first everyone loved this movie. What a nice little indie film, because I mean, at that point we weren't really getting stuff like this. So
No.
especially for our generation, our what do they call us? Elder millennials. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, we're the millennial hags, okay? We're the millennial hags. For us millennial hags, this was our movie. And I think a lot of us related to this, felt more real. This felt just like more, okay, what's this? Yes, I can get on board with this. Instead of what, like I think you said that same year we had movies like Euro Trip and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
it's like that can have its own fun and whatever, but this was just something different. And at first, I mean, people loved it. It's got like a 86% Rotten Tomatoes score, which is, I mean, 4% away from 90. That's not a bad score at all. All that hate came later because of the whole what Manic Pixie Dream
Oh
Girl
yeah, yeah.
tag thing that, I mean, was put onto this movie. And I mean, like after that whole thing, even the guy that coined the term resented and said, like, yeah, he's so sorry that he came up with that whole thing, because now people are just putting it on everything and kind of missing a lot because of it, which I
Hmm.
think, yeah, really happened with this movie. The only critique I have that it's a bit dated is them throwing the R word around a lot in
Yeah.
this one. Yeah, I mean, it gets said a lot. But then I also like picked up that Zach's character never says it. It's only the people in this town saying it. The people in this town that obviously never gets out of this town. So I think it was also like, you can argue that it's part of like, the people being not backwards, but like a bit of, you never get really out of your bubble. They probably don't even know that it's like not the right thing to say or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I could have done less with the R word. But
Yeah. She goes heavy, Portman, in the waiting
Portman,
room.
Natalie throws the R word like it's nothing. And
Hmm.
that's that's the thing also. If you go look at this, watch this movie now, you'll also see that, I mean, these characters are 20 somethings. They're young. They're in their 20s. Now, when we were all in our 20s, like, yeah, a lot of like, the people was saying, oh, this and that about, the whole Manic Pixie Dream Girl, and she's just there for his like story. And but I mean, at the end of the day, I think both characters, there's an immaturity to it, to all the characters here anyways. I think when you're in your 20, you think you really know the world inside and out. You think you're very clever. It is a thing that everyone not in their 20s anymore. No, we were all
Yeah.
very arrogant little shits
Hmm.
when we were in our 20s. So yeah, I think like, yeah, watching it now, you pick up more on like those things of, well, it kind of still fits into these characters trying to, understand what the world and what's happening around them, and like connecting with people, and like the self-identity versus, oh yeah, we kind of do well with each other. We got connections are good, figuring it all out. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
rambling
no.
now.
And listen too, like if you look at these two characters of Large, I guess I don't know, Largeman, Andrew Largeman and Sam, well, I guess we'll just call him Large. But like
Yeah,
Zach Braff, like this is they're being like they met, they fell in love before they really knew each other. But this is like for me, this feels like maybe Zach's first or Large's first relationship. Like he's
yeah.
been in such a daze, he's never cared. And
Mhm.
Sam, I mean, she's out there just killing hamsters left and right, lying to everybody, just like a complete little
She's
maniac
out
running around.
there. She's
Yeah,
out
she's
there.
out there.
She's not like scared to like speak her mind and say what she feels. And yeah.
And so when they connect, this might be the first time for that. And the first time you do discover that, you do make these larger than life, like this feels like home. Because they're completely earnest in it, but this is probably so new to both of them that of course you're gonna make these large like proclamations of love and we work and do all this. So it's I guess when you look at it in that context of the two of them first connecting, maybe the first time that they actually get together and feel that, I, I just think people have had these conversations to each other before. I really
Mm,
believe that. So
mm.
it's I guess that also plays believably to me as well because they're like one's waking up, the other one. I mean, I guess Sam like what is Sam like in Large? He just he's down to roll with her. Like he doesn't. He embraces her. Like he just he doesn't. He never really questions. I guess if I met someone who constantly lied, I don't even know what I would think if I met her in real life. But I guess he also accepts her. She accepts him. I go, what is she like in large, Sam?
Well, I think it's the opposites attract thing, which I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I can personally relate to. I'm married to someone that we've been together for 11 years and we work perfectly because we're so opposites, honestly. I'm like the out there and like extrovert and want to chat and want to do things and like and he holds me ground he keeps me grounded, you know. He's more like, you know, we'll think a thing through and way more relaxed and very much like Large and Sam in that sense. So I think, yeah, it was like, you know, it was again it's definitely an opposites attract movie for me. But then also like I think with Large, I mean, he is interesting, you know, like this quiet guy. He's a writer. He's been like to LA. He's like doing stuff there. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's already interesting. I don't think like for Sam, at least, it was a love at first sight thing. I know we had the whole thing where she gives him the headphones and he looks at her and there's this moment. So I don't know if that means he like kind of fell for her from the get-go while listening to that song and being mesmerized by that pretty little face. But I mean, yeah, for her, I think she was just like, that's what she does. She connects with people. She's not afraid to talk to people with all his friends and stuff as well. Like she'll speak her mind, you know? So I think
Pull on her
this,
ear.
I think for her, yeah, pull on her ear. It's good to all on her ear. So I think for her, yeah, it's more like a thing that developed because like the more time you spend with someone, which is a very natural thing. I can attest to that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I liked also how their relationship was very natural, you know. Um, I think also the reason why this might have not thrown people, but maybe made people think all the nonsense that they did. Not that I'm saying everything was nonsense, but yeah, I've read some people who really like, yeah, reached for some stuff with this movie. But I think a part of that is also because back then, and like still, you know, people like their stories clean cut. You know, this character must know what they want and they must go and get it. And
Mm-hmm.
again, I think this movie shows a more realness. Like we don't know, and it's messy, and we go along with it. And it might not be this picture perfect that you're fantasizing about, but that's more true to life than the picture perfect fantasy anyway. So,
And they're
yeah,
both not writers who are lying to each other. And then they find out that they're lying to each other, but then they actually love each other, and then they meet again. Like there's no real lie
exactly.
in this movie.
Exactly. It's
You,
just going with it. I love that she tells him, listen, I lie a lot. I say things, but she admits it immediately. Like, I enjoyed her character so much. I remember back then when I started reading about everyone bombing out because of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl thing. I was so disappointed because I really liked her character. Yeah, I thought she was such a breath of fresh air, and I think a lot of people felt like that. And just to now hear that, but that's wrong. Ugh, it was so, ugh.
mm-hmm.
I still feel like that when I just think about it.
And it bums me out too because I read an interview with Natalie Portman and she's a fan of the show Broad City and they make fun of the movie a lot. And she's like, "Great, I always was a fan of this movie and now people are making fun of it." But I think people were going after the fans of this movie who just absolutely adored it. And so you're not like attacking the movie anymore. You're going after the diehard fans of it. And I
Yeah.
think that's a bit unfair. And she took this
Or maybe
role.
the shins. Or maybe the shins were too much, and the shins exploding after this movie was too much for people.
Yeah, like how dare they? It's
Maybe.
it's like I bought this soundtrack. I remember I
I
watched this
love
movie
it.
in '04. I had to go to the art house theater to go see it in Tallahassee. It was '04, so I think I was a senior in college. And so I went and watched this movie and I even bought the poster because I was already like I was a fan of Scrubs. I was a huge Natalie Portman fan. I thought Sarsgaard was really cool in this
Oh
movie, just
yeah.
laid back, like the definition of just chill. But the
Jean
movie
Smart,
had
I
this.
love her in everything. I love her in
Oh
everything.
yeah, oh, she's
I
so
love
cool, and
her.
isn't she the best? Oh my
Oh,
gosh! But
she's the best. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like whatever, I enjoy Euro Trip, I enjoy Dodgeball, but
Yeah,
we don't
totally.
get many movies like this. And like we don't
Exactly.
get many for me, like I'm like a super emo dude. So I'm watching, I really enjoyed
Mm-hmm.
like Say Anything with Lloyd Dobler. I liked this movie because Large isn't like back in the day we had so many black and white characters. The nerd meets the bombshell, right? Or
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
jock has to take a girl's glasses off and she becomes a bombshell. You like Breakfast Club established the jock, the this, the that, do that. And so you're stuck with these roles, but then you meet Large, who is, he was an actor. He's just heavily medicated, but he's also down to like take ecstasy and like just drive around and crew. Like he's just kind of up for whatever. And then you get the character of Sam, who, she's down to go like jumping in pools, driving all around the place, just kind of hanging out, like ready to go, like roll. So they're just such and then you get Sarsgaard character who just seems totally comfortable with himself. And I love the scene where Large calls him out. And he's like, "Yo, I don't talk about how much of an asshole you are. Like, let me be." So these
Yeah.
characters are quite gray in this world, and I really took to that. And the scenes where he wanted to talk to his dad, and just watching movies that had some emotions to them, and just the way he kind of filmed it. And I was already like a fan of Wes Anderson. I didn't quite know around this time about like The Graduate or Harold and Maude, which Braff really drew inspiration from. But something about this connected. Like I'm so much different than Large, but I love that a movie was different and it took a different approach to emotions and expressing yourself and finally living. And in my 24-year-old brain at the time, that really connected. I didn't go buy a trike, World War II era bicycle and live in a boat, but I just appreciate the message this movie had. And so, yeah. And now that like the hate comes towards it, like people are like, oh, the scene with the shirt, it's so contrived. But I think there's some pretty startling visuals in this. I think the framing is quite excellent. There's a
I love
scene
it.
where, yeah, after they drop off Mark at his house, where the trike is parked, like this, the framing of it looks good. The door frames that they use, the opening shot. There's a lot of telling, not showing.
Yeah.
And like the cinematographer, let me get his name right here, Lawrence Shear, I think did a really great job. And the production designer Judy Becker was on the commentary and listening to about how she bought that boat for $1,
No
and
way,
they
a
they yeah
dollar.
they fixed it
Love
up,
it.
yeah, and like bought it for $1. And I just think it's a movie that really hits above its budget, $2.5 million. And he got Natalie Portman, he got Sarsgaard for this movie, like big actors. And
Mm.
so it's just
Ian Ho.
I don't. I think yeah. Amen. Like so, Ian Holm is so good in this. Like we need to talk. Like that's like I've had that conversation. That makes the hair on my neck stand up. So
Right? He's so
it's
creepy actually in this. Like you can so feel that father patriarchy like level of just coming down on you while he's sitting in a chair looking up at Zach. Like he's so good in this.
you need to forgive yourself. No, come on. It's
He's so terrible.
there's just some good themes in this, and I know some people complain that oh, way to not like oh, so this guy's medicated his whole life, and one weekend away doing drugs and meeting a girl when he has serious mental issues and taking drugs is going to make him worse. But I don't know. Braff said his mom was a psychiatrist, and so he talked to her a lot. And I don't know if this guy had actual. I think it would be I think it would be insulting to say this guy actually had actual needs for medication or any like
No, he didn't. His father
yeah,
medicated the crap out of him.
exact. And so you just think you need it, and so now he's realizing that. I mean, the guy's going to clearly need probably therapy, but
Because
it's
of
not
it.
like
Yeah,
it's not like a man who's bipolar realizing like having an off weekend and being like I don't need meds. Like it's not that, but
exactly.
that's what people were comparing it to. And I think you're right. People have stretched for this movie, and the whole manic pixie. Man, that phrase is so annoying.
I
I
know.
like.
I hate saying it even.
Yeah,
Like
I think
even the creator of that phrase hates
uh,
it. So, there we go. Can everyone
Ebert's
stop?
a something interesting. He's like Sam, a local girl who's one of the creatures you sometimes find in movies. A girl who's completely available, absolutely desirable, and really likes you. He's like Portman's success in creating this character is all the more impressive because we learn almost nothing about her. Like that's what he says. So before that phrase came out, I don't know. Do you agree with that?
I think this phrase actually came out before Garden State, ne?
Oh, did it? Oh, for
Yeah,
what,
I did.
Elizabethtown?
Yeah. No, because I went and looked. Yeah. It was actually before this movie.
Oh, gosh.
But yeah, no, I did read his review on that, and yeah, I didn't agree. I think she's got a very colorful life, honestly. I think just because you're not a, I don't know, deep, sad, and depressive person, now you're not interesting. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah.
Also, I just want to like, yeah, get back to the whole, I'm going to tell you a story now of why I also related to this very much. Because as much as I am more of an extrovert and social person, for a year and a half, I was Andrew Largeman because I was misdiagnosed with bipolar and I was put on medication that made me, with my very, very good memory, not remember a year and a half of my life because I was on all kinds of drugs. So I've read a lot of reviews saying, this has such a terrible message. It says you can just like stop taking your medication and you'll be fine. This guy was misdiagnosed by his own dad. This guy was not supposed to be on lithium. Guys, do you know what lithium? That is like, holy, yeah, people don't just get put on lithium where that's hardcore. That's next level. And here's the thing, we don't, we all of us, Zach, you and me, all of us who grew up back then, psychology and psychiatry was still called pseudoscience. So there wasn't a lot of like even money pumped into stuff. People didn't know. So people were getting misdiagnosed all the time. That was a thing that happened a lot. And that's what this movie felt for me. It was the first time that I saw, wow, someone get misdiagnosed and put on drugs in a movie. I related so much with it. And I think that's why, like, I had that whole thing of, I get this. And I could understand how he just feels nothing and decides to want to feel, because that's exactly what happened with me. After a year and a half of feeling like a freaking zombie, don't know if I'm coming or going. I was like, okay, I can't. I need to off with this. And I eventually, got to a better psychiatrist, and they were like, oh dear, no, you don't have bipolar. Like, you have other things, but that's not it. So,
Wow.
those things happen. And the movie showed that. So I really don't know where people get that idea that this movie was saying, get off your meds, you'll be fine. This guy wasn't supposed, his dad put him on the meds because he got angry when he was a kid and pushed his mom. He pushed his mom. He didn't like
Mhm.
attack her with a knife or like he just had an impulsive like feeling and pushed her. And that's the whole movie. It's about feelings, all the characters and like, the different ways they feel. We talked about Sarsgaard's Mark as well. I mean, like he's got this chill vibe happening, but you know what? If you like push him enough, he's going to tell you exactly how he feels. You've got his mom, Carol, played by Jean Smart, the amazing Jean Smart. She's like, oh, listen, I will tell you how I feel, but also in such a subtle, toned down, like every single character in this movie. We've got the Method Man.
Yes. Raise your hand if you
Really
just
not
fell off the
shy
titties.
about telling us how
Yeah.
he feels. It's a
Yeah.
feel movie. Zach also said he wrote this movie like while he was like writing the script. He was struggling. He was depressed. He was working as a waiter, like just trying to get by. And he just wanted to like that whole struggling with feeling and how you like people expect you to hold it in and be fine, but how that's also not really the healthiest thing. Like expression is the thing that we as humans need. I mean, that's the bloody movie. I'm sorry, I
Mhm.
get excited because, like, yeah, I think, yeah, this movie is way more than, oh, the little boxes people want to shove it in.
There's a lot of cynicism in this, and it's
Lots,
like
lots.
later on, like the people kind of making fun of it, I guess. But it's yeah, and once again, like this sounds weird, but I've noticed movies that are I don't know if this movie's really earnest or it's just very upfront about its feelings and what it wants to get across. I've noticed movies like this that are just I don't, and so correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong, but you watch like a M. Night Shyamalan movie where he's completely earnest about his proceedings, and then you have this where it's you want those feels. It goes for those visuals. And like I think those movies are easier for people to attack sometimes because they what am I trying to think of here?
Yeah,
They're just like
they don't want to feel, bro. I don't know, maybe, I don't
I
know.
just it hides nothing, this movie. I think it the music helps you cue the speeches. Like it's putting it all out there for you. It kind of wants you to feel. And so I think sometimes people really react negatively to that. Like I watch Wes Anderson movies and I adore them for their production design, eccentricities and all of that. And then other people are watching it and they're like, "Oh, this is some like cute BS. Like look at this cutesy stuff." So
Mm.
it's I don't know if you've noticed. I know a bunch of people who feel that way.
I
So
know a lot of
it's
people too, yeah, that like, or if it's like, say, an emotional horror movie or whatever, like I know people that have literally told me, yeah, I don't like emotional cues, don't do it for me. So, I guess some people don't want to like have the more emotional, let's look at our feelings vibes, which is fine, but don't attack it then, please.
yeah,
Just don't,
ex-
because so you're saying, oh, people that feel are what? Shouldn't do what? You're gonna mock people who feel things. That's just not cool.
mhm. And I don't know this movie though. Remember in 2004, this movie felt like I
Oh
don't know.
man.
Also though, I was getting hit really hard by movies around this time. I remember there's a theater called Terra, and so when I grew up, I used to watch a lot of movies, but I would order from Columbia House, go to the theaters, or I would go to Blockbuster and rent the new movies. So I didn't really have like I was really kind of into mainstream stuff, and sometimes on like the MTV Movie Awards I would find out about the Virgin Suicide, so I'd go watch that. Like I didn't have an indie theater near me. I mean, I watched like kids and stuff, but I didn't have this like indie world. So when I got to college, I discovered this indie theater, and I
Mm-mm.
just used to go there by myself and watch movies like Elephant, or like I discovered Gus Van Sant, like I discovered Murder Ball, like documentary. I would go watch all of these just independent films. And
Mm.
then I don't know, I just felt like when I watched Garden State, there was like a good time in my life where I'd been like really trying to like broaden my film horizons, and this one just hit me hard. It just
Yeah.
it felt so much different, and I just connected with it. I Even though I'm not like the characters, and also too, I love the mystery on the back half of this movie where
Yeah.
they're going
It's so
through and
cute.
paint cans and then nitrous oxide and then a boat and then getting that thing that he sold back for it. Because remember early, like they set it up. He takes jewelry off people and
Yeah.
sells it. And
Yeah,
like
it's
it
that
really,
moment where they like
and
look at
so,
each other. It's like, yeah, I see you.
and then he gave it back. Like Braff had that made. That was his mom had a necklace like that she lost. So he had the prop master make one of those for him.
Mm.
And so it's like just I love the mystery of that. And like where are we going? What's happening? And I love when they have the big fight against each other when Large finally lets loose on Mark, and Mark just makes a joke. And then what didn't they make a joke about knights or something like that? Like don't make a joke about that. And then he just picks him up. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
like there's like cool friends and like just you have the buddy who made the Velcro, and just this weird journey that it took me on really spoke to me. I don't know why I gave all that history of movies, but what I was saying was growing up I didn't watch many Garden State-esque movies. I would watch,
Yeah. Same.
yeah, exactly. So I, but I do see how maybe I could have been like some people walk out of it and like, man, that movie's like a revelation. Like that movie is like you just don't get it. But I don't know. I think people really like Braff's style, and then there's people who hate it, and then they make fun of those people. But I don't know. Like, what Wish I Was Here, like that movie got a ton of backlash too against it. But I don't know. I like Braff. It's cool.
I
I know I just
yeah.
went on a long-winded thing, but this it's just different. Why not? Like you got Natalie Portman. I
It's
watched this movie again.
different.
Yeah.
And it's
Watch
like,
Natalie Portman. Yeah.
yeah, no, sorry, I just want to say like it's got this like element of, this lone guy coming into this world that used to be his world. So like he remembers the people, but he's been out of it so long, like clearly, it's not really his world anymore. So he comes in and it's all these characters and they're like all letting him in. Like literally everyone's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" It's like visiting your hometown after how long, and like seeing people, and they're all so nice. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, wow. I don't even know my hometown people will be so nice to me if they see me. And like, yeah,
Hmm.
and everyone's so different. And I mean, Portman, like, how long in the movie do we actually get to see her for the first time? It takes a while. Um, but yeah, it's like this whole setup of this, like, yeah, different world where, like, now he's not alone anymore. He's now with these people, and seeing him, like, kind of starting to relax, kind of starting to, okay, like, connecting with people, little bit, little bit. I don't know. I just love the whole experience of it. Like, he takes us with us. It takes us with him on this journey of colorful characters, and him trying to just get out of his rut, and his, like, not feeling great. I mean, the guy went to LA to become an actor and a writer. He's coming back to his hometown. Clearly, he's not okay. It makes me actually think of Young Adults from Charlize
Oh,
and
that's so good.
Cody. I
Yeah.
love
Uh,
that movie so much. Oh, I love that movie. But yeah, it makes me kind of think like that, going back to your hometown, and just doing that whole thing, realizing, wow, you are not actually doing fine. You might have gone to the big city and you're doing these amazing things, and people are telling you, wow, you're doing these amazing things, but gosh, it doesn't feel like you are at all. That's what we get with World Large. At the beginning of this film, he is not in a good place. He is lying in a sterile room, in a sterile bed. Like, that is the whitest room I've ever seen. That
mhm.
room is depressing.
And also to
Yeah.
these characters, sometimes when a character goes back home, like like a Sweet Home Alabama type movie, the stereotypes are really laid on of kind of the local rural residents or like smaller city residents. Everyone, I'm sure, has their issues in this world, but everyone seems kind of, I don't know,
Yeah,
content. Like,
well,
it's
what? Jim Parson, that, like, clearly is like Mark and Lorge's same age, is now with Mark's mother. So,
yeah,
it's not like the perfect world, Lauren, but
yeah.
I like that. It shows us, like, this different ways how people live. And I guess at the end of the day, the whole message is finding your own way to live, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, and just there's enough weirdness to it that I like as well. It's just like I love the character of Mark. He just wants to cruise around and kind of hang out. And Jesse, his is
Oh,
like the rich guy who
Jesse,
has too much time on his hands.
Silent
I love
Velcro.
I love the interaction with Kenny, the cop, who I
Oh,
just
Kenny. Yeah, Michael Weston. Kenny. Oh gosh, yeah, that
and
was also great.
just the people, Serpico, just yelling stuff out like that. But yeah, there's no one that's like, oh, look who's back in town, Mr. Big Shot. Like, you're right. People are just sort of happy to see him,
Mm.
and then he goes on this kind of journey, and it just, it's, I think it avoids a lot of tropes that you're used to in this kind of film, coming back home and dealing with that. And I like it. I don't know. I also think this Braff, like Zach Braff, struck gold. I mean, this is a $2.5 million movie, and he managed to get like Natalie Portman in this film, Gene Smart, Peter Sarsgaard, Ian Holm on a $2.5 million budget, and they
Mm.
just act their faces off in this. You watch Portman just in the background of shots, and she just dominates. She's just so good. And she talked about how much she loved playing this character because, like look at her early roles with like Beautiful Girls and Heat and Professional, and then she was up in front of a green screen for Star Wars. She got to like cut loose in this, and I in the
Yeah, and
commentary she seemed to have a great time with it. She loved just, and you could see that on everybody. You could see that everyone really enjoys being in this movie.
yeah, because I mean, like, sorry, I was just like, didn't she say also she so enjoyed playing this character because there weren't characters like that to play, and it was so much fun for her? I think she said something like that. But I mean, that's the thing. All the characters are so fun. Every single character, like, these characters have layers. They're like, yeah, some of them might be like backwards, or like, don't know how to say the right thing, or whatever. And but they're still like nice and decent to each other. and it shows that layers. I think it's not a picture perfect world that he created here. And
Mhm.
to treat it as such would be ridiculous.
Hey, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then when we
Let's.
come back, we will talk more Garden State. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And one line that always gets me laughing during this film is when they're doing the eulogy for the hamster, and Braff starts going off about it, like making it kind of comical. And she's like, "That's not funny." Like I thought that was such a good line reading where she just shoots him down. Like that's not funny because he was being all cute about it, and she did not appreciate that at all, and it just makes me laugh. So I thought that was
Yeah, and
pretty good.
also like that's also after she learned that, oh, his mother died, right? That's after that. So like, yeah, the fact that she's like, that's not funny. You should be very sad because I just cried for your mother now, and now you're making jokes. It's
But yeah.
it's so earnest as well. Like, you know, when like, these deep, hurtful feelings and stuff that, things that happen to us and the feelings that we feel. I mean, hands up, who knows how to deal with feelings anyway, like it's very interesting how we navigate it. And I also love that moment. I just love the whole hamster gag in general. Those little like pump wheel stuff, I don't know what you call that installation that they have in the house.
Oh yeah, that's like it's just a it's like a hamster tropolis around their
Yeah.
home. It's an interesting production design touch, that's for sure. And I like that burial scene too, where Braff told the DP Michael Wilkinson, he's like, "I want this to be my Terrence Malick shot," and the DP's like, it's like he shoots that during magic hour and it's noon right now, and Braff just goes, "Yeah, just figure it out." So he had to sort of frame it and shoot it like a Terrence Malick esque scene at noon with the sun blaring overhead, not at magic hour. So I thought that was kind of a fun anecdote about that movie, just sort of watching. And then
Mm.
that the World War II motorcycle that he found with the sidecar, which you don't ride in because you're the bitch if you ride in it, which is a fun touch. They ended up getting a hold of a Russian, and then they ended up paying like I don't know $4,500 for both of them. But I just thought that was kind of funny. Like, yeah, we need two sidecars that are World War II era, like motorcycles with sidecars. So the
Wow.
production designer, and what I like about the production designer too is everyone thought the boat was going to be the hardest thing for her, but she's like, I bought it for $1, and all the construction crew loved working on it. Like they built it in, they had a great time working on it. She said the hardest thing was the car, that the sidecars and like motorcycle that she had to find, and then they never worked, which is kind of I don't know, which makes me laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the funny things that it's typical. It's typical filmmaking. You like think, no, this is gonna be easy, easy. Yeah, no, never underestimate or like overestimate because it'll be the opposite. It'll always be. The thing that will go wrong is the thing that you least expect. It's yeah, filmmaking tip for everyone. Like just be on your toes all the time. But what I also
Right.
love about the design is, like this also the stark contrast between Largeman's house that's like, clinical and it feels like, do people even live there almost, it feels so dead and dull versus Sam's house. Oh, it's colorful. I mean, besides the whole hamster contraption, it's color, it's alive, it's, people are living there. I mean, that's, it's a subtle thing, but it's a big part of the movie and showing these opposite states. Growing up with a loving mother that obviously gives her, as much as she possibly can and allows her to be who she wants to be, versus Largeman who grew up with, oh dear, that father, and he's very, very that's the thing. His mother was depressed. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't like, she wasn't fine, not him, his mom. So yeah, I mean that whole speech where he talks to them, where he opens up, I mean that's also beautiful. Where
Mm-hmm.
you can see it's the first time he's actually telling people about the struggles that he had to grow up with, and talking about how his mom was always so sad and he felt so hopeless. Like, and one day he just got so angry at her for just not being present and he pushed her. Like, I mean, hi, shame. You so feel for him because you're like, you can see him as a little kid with this mom that is, and the dad obviously not helping. Where's the dad? No, he's
Hmm.
not helping at all. His solution is just to give everyone medication, apparently. Um, yeah. Anyway, what was my point? I don't But
Well, all
yeah,
right. So
like
you
just the
started
different
on,
homes, the different
yeah.
homes that they grew up with, again, that opposites and how because she was lucky enough to come from, we don't know where her dad is. They never talk about that, but that's also okay. Because mom was there and mom gave her opportunities and mom gave her the space for Sam to be who she wants to be. So Sam can help others to like, hey, you can like, look, let's do something unique. Do something that scares you. Try
Yeah,
it.
something no one else has ever done in the
Live a
world.
little.
And I mean the color contrast too. I mean they did some good work in post where you have the sterile world and then they get in the other things which are just more warm and rich and just
Yeah.
the two different kind. I mean Zach Braff and his crew, they understood the psychology of shots in this
Yep.
movie. I mean there's some really good framing. There's good color grading. I mean they know how to get you feeling just with a sterile environment. So I,
Totally.
once again, this is a good movie. This is, and it
Yeah,
also has a
man.
7.4 on
Yep.
IMDb
Yep.
with like hundreds of thousands of ratings. So as much as we talk about some of the articles out there bagging on this movie, this is still a film that is 7.4 right now on IMDb. This is a movie that is in the 80s on Rotten Tomatoes with the good audience scores. So I guess it must be like a vocal minority out there making fun of this movie.
Critics.
Who, yeah, critics. But it's kind of crazy. Critics like this movie. It has a positive score. So maybe, I don't know,
That is true.
maybe people are looking back in hindsight, which I think sometimes is dangerous, where you want, like, this movie in 1950 does not hold up. And it's like, well, this movie was of the time, Garden State. And, well, yeah, was it of the time? Is Garden State of the time? Would this work now?
I mean, yeah, I think the themes in it could always work. You'll definitely
Yeah.
do some things differently. But yeah, I think actually you're touching on a point there that could actually like also explain a lot because we're talking about 2004. Now, as we know, movie criticism, gosh, I mean, it's like, back then it was kind of still in its infancy, like really just getting to,
Hmm.
oh, everyone can have an opinion now and everyone can like, it's not just criticism isn't just for certain people. We can like all have an opinion and say things. And I think maybe what happened is like someone said manic basic jingle and everyone was like, oh, I didn't even see that and jumped on it. It's like Twitter.
Hmm.
It's 2021 and you see that thing happening on Twitter all the time and still. So, like maybe that was part of it, that people were just like, oh, they're right, but didn't really think about or argue it as much. I mean, I know even me, as you like, like get older and you learn how to argue things better, especially things that you might not be an expert in. So when someone that is now supposedly an expert says something, you're like, oh, but they must be right. They're an expert. Well, we see how that's going with the pandemic and experts and stuff.
Yeah.
People will say
Everything.
anything.
Everything.
I mean, it's yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I think all of this whole conversation is relevant. No, I do think you can still, I would actually love to see more of this. Maybe do it differently for sure, but oh, the basic core and the humor in it. I just love the humor in this movie as well. It's not in your face, like deliberately going for laughs. It's subtle. It's little things. It's just there. I don't know. It's yeah, I just like how the movie in general was done. I like
And
the vision of it.
absolutely. And people call this movie whiny. And I don't see how it's
What?
whiny.
Ugh.
That's another kind of thing that people have talked about. Like, well, this is a whiny movie. Like, I don't think Large really ever whines in this movie. I don't. I don't
Uh,
see how this is this you we watch movies where like there's very whiny people. I mean, you watch, I don't know, an Apatow Picture, or I don't know, one of those, I don't know. But you get these characters who just sort of whine. Like this whine about their life. This guy's just kind of waking up and
this guy
this is
was
about a
on
movie
lithium his whole
for
life.
9 years.
This
Yeah,
guy
his
was
whole
on
year. Yeah.
lithium. I'm sorry, like you might be mad at men or whatever, or oh, but he comes from a rich family. This guy was on lithium without his consent for how long? They drugged him. I mean, yeah, no, I think lay off the harshness of white guy
Yeah.
whining with this one because, yeah, again, this is a thing that has happened to a lot of people. And I don't really care. Like, I don't think it matters who you are. The the bottom line of that is, well, that's wrong. And yes, that will mess you up no matter who you are.
You know what's interesting too? I while researching and reading about this movie, I was like, oh wow, that might be true. Like what these person just said. And I watched it again. I'm like, I don't think that's true. So I
Mm-mm.
think it's good. Like you read this, you get this reaction to it, and then you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But then you watch again, you're like, no, that doesn't make sense. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Just I'm so happy to watch this movie again because I didn't quite know
Yeah.
what I was going to think about it. I didn't know if emotional 24. Wait, how old was I?
Same. I thought it
20.
was I
Yeah,
thought I might cringe. I thought I might cringe a little.
yeah. And
I
there's
only
not
cringe for the
cringe.
R word. I only cringe for the
Yeah,
R word. That's all.
like man, Portman went heavy on that scene. Oh my gosh.
How many? I think she said like 3 or 4 times in that one like speech. Like Natalie, shush.
Yeah, because it's not really an endearing trait. And
No.
listen though, but like I guess, and I don't even want to blame the time frame, but I was doing this thing where I was watching I've watched a bunch of '99 like teen movies, and like 2001, 2002, and geez Louise, the language in that one, and those
Yeah.
things don't really age well. So, I'm not going to say that's good on this, but they definitely go hard. So you're supposed to make this endearing character, but like geez Louise, um,
And that's the
yeah.
thing, like, oh, like, and I think that's what makes these characters also more real is none of these characters are perfect. They're not pretending like they are. It's not this clean cut,
Yeah.
movie with these clean cut characters that look, they're either angels or devils. Because I mean, that's also again unrealistic. But yeah, that's I think that
And
was the
also,
only thing that really got to me because I've never liked that word anyway. It's like even when I was little, I was like, no. But yeah, I know a lot of people don't even get like how that's people think it's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the humor in that, but I mean, yeah, we're all
and also
different.
too, this movie isn't run by the father-son conflict, which is kind of nice because so many movies are about a dad's approval or
Totally.
parents don't like the boyfriend or girlfriend, or the entire movie is just about the two of them learning to appreciate each other. That's a very much so a subplot in this movie. You have Ian Holmes sort
Mhm.
of lurking around like a specter, and then they
Yeah.
finally have that conversation between them where he's finally awake and like, hey, we just got to figure this out. And that's it. It's kind of nice that it's not a looming presence throughout this movie. He's definitely avoiding him. And I like when he lies and he's like, yeah, I've been avoiding you. But it's also another thing that you don't really come to expect because you're so used to like that story. Like he and Ian Holm are gonna have like he needs his approval and he's got to win over his approval and then there's gonna be a big speech and there's really none of that. It's quite a gentle moment that will never be the same for me again because Braff and the DP are making fun of the lighting because when he goes and talks to his dad, the light on the far side of his bed is on. And the DP wanted that, but then the DP got made fun of by his friends because why would that light be on? So I kind of noticed that now. And I also noticed when they're at the bar,
I
there's
didn't
an extra
notice
in the
that.
background that Braff hates. So not hates, but in the background of the bar scene, when it's Portman and Braff at the bar, you look in the background and there's an extra, and she is just making a meal out of her background work. She's
Oh,
Steve
for
McQueening
real? Oh,
the
damn
heck out of
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
missed it. I love background actors that do too much. It's so funny.
Oh, it's the bane of my existence. And you know what's cool too? Like like these two characters, like you meet Portman and they both meet with this really weird, like he's getting an MRI, she's lying about her boyfriend having a ninja, but then they just go to a bar and drink beers and hang out. Like that's I don't know, I like that aspect about these characters. They're not total like
It's not,
fuddy-duddies.
yeah, it's like just normal hometown stuff. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you would do if you go back home, meet up with someone. Yeah, let's go just have a beer at the local. I mean, that's so normal.
It makes me happy. I don't know why, but just these characters, like, cause you know how there's always like dorky characters in movies, and like, oh, I don't know, and then there's like the bro characters in movies. It's just refreshing not to have that. Like, say anything. I loved Lloyd Dobler's character. He was cool, but he was like sensitive, but he could also kick you in the head. Like, I like Doug Glatt and Goon, where he's like a hockey enforcer, but he's also a really nice dude. So it's like there's so few characters like this,
Yeah.
and I think Portman's successful in her character. I do think there are ways to make character like. Have you seen Elizabethtown with Orlando Bloom and Kirsten
Yeah,
Dunst?
I saw it when it came out. I wasn't a fan at all.
I think that one leans a little bit heavily into those tropes that shouldn't have been brought up in the first place.
Yeah, I didn't like that
But
movie.
no, like she like makes an entire scrapbook to go dance by yourself.
I can't even remember it, honestly. I was just like, why do people like this? But anyway, I mean,
There's a
yeah,
Freebird performance that I
you can
like.
like it if you like it, but
Yeah, I like the Freebird performance because I like did they actually play this entire thing? Jeez Louise.
yeah.
I know I keep going around in circles, but are there any other moments that you really love in this movie? Are there like what are
Oh,
some scenes
wow.
that have stuck out in your memory, like the t-shirt bit or catching a tear in a cup? Uh,
I love the funeral bits because like that's also this movie was actually brought up when I was studying script writing because it's always like so if you're trying to do like a standard thing that is like a normal thing, like say funeral, I mean, how many movies do you have funerals? And I try and kind of like, create a different vibe, do something different with it. And this movie is like the perfect example of doing something different with a normal, usual ritual. Because yeah, I mean, first of all, you've got that top shot. That's just great. And then there's like, what's her name? I've got it. I've got the Jackie Hoffman that plays, yeah, Aunt Sylvia. Jackie Hoffman.
oh yeah,
Um,
she's so good.
she's singing, "You're once, twice, three times a lady." Oh my word, with the keyboard, and it's just there's such a tackiness to it. But I
Hmm.
mean, this is how these people are like doing it. But that scene, the first time I saw this film, I had to pause because I couldn't stop laughing at how funny the funeral scene is. I just loved how they did that. That was great. Just like these little subtle like differences that just worked for me. Oh gosh, what do yeah, we've talked about the night scene. That's also just fantastic. The party scene at the house where they like trip on ecstasy was okay. I didn't really like. Uh, yeah, that was okay for me. I don't know if there's like if you ask me what scene would I probably take out or do differently, I would do that scene. I would change that. And then I love the end and the arc with the guy and his family and that is such a cool scene and I mean that's where the movie also comes full circle kind of because he says the same thing that Sam says. It's like, doing something different and unique that you never thought you would really do. It's kind of like you choose what you do in this life, and it doesn't have to be this big thing, but as long as it's something that's important to you, that's something that's grounded. For this guy, it was like, as long as I'm with my family, it doesn't really matter. I'll like, take take care, play like a watchman here at the quarry, make sure everything's okay. I'm with my family. I'm cool. I'm
Hmm.
set. It was such a cool moment because you think like, who is going to live in a place like this? And then they're so normal. They're so like chilled. They're so nice and friendly. Yeah, I love that scene with Mark and Sam and Lorridge in the arc with those people. It was pretty cool. The boat.
Because they're so normal, right? So you go
So
through this,
normal.
like you
So
go to
normal.
the paint store and you get the guy who's talking about, I thought you committed I thought you committed suicide, and can I get your number? And just a really odd person at this paint store. or wherever they were at, and the hardware store.
Oh
And then they
yeah.
go and they meet Redman, and you have all these creepers in the hotel room. I mean, it's almost like a nightmare world that you're traveling through. And so you're
Yep.
spending this long time kind of going through the like just really having some weird experiences, which I've had before, just cruising around. You run into some weird stuff, and then they really meet these nice people who live in a boat near an infinite abyss,
Yeah.
and it's a nice way to play that. And then it's a really nice touch too. Sarsgaard has that piece of jewelry for him, and I'll be your Kato, and it's just a neat. I don't know. It's a neat. I never saw that going that way. I didn't know what they were doing, and I love that about it. And I also love too when they meet him at the funeral, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to a party after this, after burying your mom." Well, I got to shower first. Like that's like a such a blunt line, but I loved it. Just the way he delivered it.
And
So,
Kenny. And Kenny. I mean, Kenny is great. Kenny became this cop. And Laura just like, you're a cop now, Kenny? Like, what? And he's like, yeah, man. But like, Kenny is so the wrong guy to be a cop. And it's so typical. And it's Kenny is, I mean, that little scene and the dialogue there is just also so great. And like, it also shows Large, like, you can see he is thinking by himself, what in the world? What is that? But he's like not mean to people, He's like, yeah, okay, trying
mhm.
to see people and understand people because he's trying to understand himself at the end of the day, too. But just his whole scene with Kenny, because Kenny just goes off and says the most random. Yeah, like I don't want to spoil it for anyone that want to watch it again because Kenny is just hilarious and should not have a gun as a cop.
No,
Just no, just like, but like I say, typical. That is the kid that becomes a cop in your hometown.
I love, and yeah, Braff
Oh,
had some friends who did that, and I also love. So he came in on the last day of shooting, Kenny, and everyone was tired and everyone was sort of beat, and I guess that he just like had so much energy on the last
oh
day of filming
wow.
that he just carried
Yeah,
because it was a night
he
shoot, and he just
did.
carried everyone through that night by just being a ball of energy, and they were so appreciative of him. And also too, I love Jesse's reaction to a silent Velcro when Mark pulls it apart near the giant. Like, where's your furniture? Oh, it's keeping us warm. But when he pulls apart that Velcro and it's completely silent, and his just reaction to it, like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
this tiny little moments that I really liked, and
It's moments. It's
yeah,
definitely moments. And I mean, that's, yeah, also like very life, isn't it? It's moments. So this big, grand, oh, you can like literally put this into a scene, feed it into the algorithm, and it'll give you this perfect scene. That's moments. It's all moments. Yeah.
and they captures it. It's fun. I don't know. I just remember like, I keep saying it, but I just connect like the shirt bit is so weird. The gas bit is so weird. The flight. And but I do like that you are being shown a lot, not really being told. When you see his bed, when you see his pills, when you see the gas pump, when you see the flight and he's being calm. There's just a lot. And I like this swimming scene where all this staring at him. There's these weird little
Oh,
interludes that give
yeah.
it a personality,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, I guess there's just enough in there. It was hard to find that pool, they said they had a really hard time finding that pool, but
Mm.
there's enough odd stuff in it that makes it really stick out from movies. And another reason why I think it felt so like revelatory to me when I saw
Yeah.
it in 2004, because like, man, this is awesome. But yeah, what else I don't know, I
Yeah,
guess it's
totally. It's like one of those movies, even when I watch it now, like you don't want to be on your phone. You want to watch it because, again, these little shots, these little moments, these actors doing so amazing, without like, being over the top or, yeah, it's just, yeah, all of it. All of it's
hmm
just so great. But yeah.
Hey, so before we get out of here, let's do something real quick.
Oh
Let's
no.
do let's do a 2004 draft, because I was just looking
Okay.
at a lot of 2004 movies and I just adore so many of them. So I'll let you have first pick. I'll give you some time to look through. But I was just looking through 2004, and there's so many movies in here that I just love.
Oh,
So I
wow.
think that could be fun to do a pick
Oh,
because
Closer. Was Closer also 2004? Also
yeah,
a Boardman movie, ne?
uh-huh. Two completely different characters.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Some of, yeah, my favorites too, yeah. Oh, I'm going to go with Saved.
You know what's funny? I just saw that and I was like, I
You,
think
yeah, I like
all right.
that movie.
Hey, there's a Culkin in there.
Correct. That is
I'm gonna take life.
correct.
I'm gonna take Life Aquatic because it's a rotten Wes Anderson movie, but it's
You
the one I've
love that
watched the most.
movie.
I do. I love Stu George. I
Tori
love
also loves it. Like,
yeah.
yeah, you guys are big fans.
It's just you got the weird uniforms, just the it's a very kind of it gets and there's sharks in it. I mean, I'm yeah, Life Aquatic. I think it's my favorite Wes Anderson film. And it just for some reason spoke to me a lot. So my wife
Nice.
painted a garden gnome to look like a Steve Zissou employee.
Oh, that's so
And so I'm
cool.
looking at it right now. And I
Oh,
also have
that's awesome.
I have a wall of Wes Anderson in my office too that I'm looking at right now. So I got to take Life Aquatic first.
You're a big West fan, eh?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
speaks to me. There's, I don't know, it just yeah, like people make fun of Darjeeling Limited, but I also like that movie. Like I like when they get rid of their luggage, like they get rid of their baggage. Everyone makes fun of that, but I think it's pretty cool. Like they just get rid of their baggage to catch the train. It's a
Yeah.
I love the visual.
Yeah, I'm not like a major Wes Anderson fan, actually, but like it's not like I don't like his stuff, but that's also the thing with him. I like his moments. His movies they have moments. This is Grand Budapest Hotel. That's my favorite. I love that movie so much.
Yeah.
It's probably the one I've watched the most. Love that one. But yeah, he's good with moments and obviously framing. I mean, he's very good at that, with the framing stuff, but it's moments with these movies. So yeah, I always like find it interesting that like what do people love about? I love Wes Anderson. Okay, what do you love about him? I just love hearing that because yeah, it's cool. People fanning out, fanboying out, fangirling, fanning out.
I miss the more blue collar aesthetic that he used to have with Rushmore and Bottle Rocket. And I think Royal Tenenbaums has a very mean sensibility to it at moments that
Yeah.
I kind of love. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there's some stuff in Royal Tenenbaums that I appreciate from especially a film like filmmaking point of view that's just so good. He really goes for a vibe. And sometimes I think that vibe is a bit overwhelming for me, but he's good at it.
yeah.
He's good at it for sure. Okay. So what are we gonna do about Garden State, Mark? Are we gonna
You can
decide
pick it. All you. All you.
Okay,
Do
I'm
it.
gonna pick it because I mean we need to have that on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
Garden State. And
Or
then I'm going to take Before Sunset.
okay, cool.
I
Cool.
watched that and I went immediately bought the poster. I know I love movies when I watch it and go buy the poster immediately. So I
Yeah.
watched Before Sunset and I bought I saw that at Terra Theaters too. So
Oh,
so many good memories this year.
cool.
Yeah.
Very
So yeah, Before
good.
Sunset's my second pick.
Okay, my next one, I'm gonna choose this. I know a lot of people hate this movie. I actually think you guys might have done some, but I know people are talking about it more because yeah, there's also a lot of us that we loved it and love it still, is M. Night's The Village.
Oh yeah.
I
I
love
love The
that movie.
Village.
Yeah, I love that movie. That's also another one where people, yeah, said a lot to say about it, and I was like, what? Oh, shush, man.
Yeah.
Such a
I
like,
think
oh, I don't know. I think a lot of people are just body poopers, honestly. Ah,
expectations were so high and then it wasn't what people wanted. It wasn't yeah, and then like oh the marketing set me up for something and it's yeah. Yeah,
yeah, maybe
I,
don't buy into the marketing,
yeah,
people.
exactly.
Maybe
Go
do
into
that,
yeah.
Wow. You're just like, oh, believe all the ads and believe all the, stop falling for marketing.
It wasn't what I expected. Like, well, I don't expect anything. I just go in to watch a movie. So,
Ever thought
I,
that there might be something wrong with your expectations? Or is it just always other people's fault? You know?
I'm
Okay,
going
what do you
weird.
think? Hmm.
Coffee and cigarettes.
Oh,
Because
wow.
Jim Jarmusch movie, I watched this at Terra Theater. Pretty sure I was the only one in there. And I was just blown away by coffee and cigarettes. So I'm going to take that one. And I saw Saved in Terra Theaters too.
That's so cool. Yeah, you've got all the Terror Theater stuff. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you like we talked like I think it was like the first time we spoke. You said because we were talking about we were talking about The Dead Don't Die. I still haven't watched Coffee and Cigarettes, is what I'm saying. I still need to watch that movie. I actually forgot about it, so I'm glad you reminded me of it again because
I
I
love
need
it.
to see it.
Makes me
And
happy.
okay, yeah, I'm going through here now. Just like a lot of stuff. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
I'm trying to pick movies that like just when I watched them in '04 that just made me just I don't know, that really affected me.
Okay, yeah, so this is also another controversial one. Not a lot of people liked it. Just to also be clear, I actually have the books. So I read the books and I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was such a lacquer adaptation. It was a series of unfortunate events.
Hey,
Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. I love the books. I own almost the entire series. There are two books that I struggle to get, but yeah, I love the books and I really like the movie. I still do. It's so easy on the eye to watch. The way it's done is so great. The acting is lovely. The narration is I just love A Series of Unfortunate Events. It
oh,
makes me happy.
so much money went towards that movie, and it's just
You
it
can
looks
see
great.
it. It
Yeah,
looks
it's a
so
yeah,
beautiful. It's got a lot of
exactly.
that what's the other movie that Dark Shadows that we also discussed on one of our on one of the pods episodes. It's got that like yeah, almost visually that same kind of look as Dark
Hmm.
Shadows that also cost a lot of money. But yeah, yeah, I love a series of I love that whole story. It's just fun. Lemony Snickets.
I'm going weird. You ready for this?
Do it.
Club Dread.
I haven't seen Club Trade. Should
It's
I?
just I don't know, but I remember watching it in theaters and like there's it's Bill Paxton being funny. There's a lot of like weird like there's a lot of like very bro-ish humor in there, but there's a lot of funny things too. Like there's this speech where they're talking about this guy Phil Coletti who went on a murder spree and killed a lot of people with a machete. And he's like, and from that night, everyone called him Machete Phil like instead of Machete Coletti. Like it's just really
Okay.
off. And there's lines where Bill Paxton's like son of a bitch, mother. Like he's just it's just a weird. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? Like I remember watching it and everyone hated it. Everyone hated it. I'm like this is like I'm not gonna nominate it for president. But I remember
Yeah.
watching it going like this has enough charm to it to make me like it. It's just I don't know. So yeah, I'm taking Club Dread. That's what I'm
Oh,
doing.
awesome. There you go.
All right.
Okay. So how many do I have
You
left?
have one left.
One. How did that happen?
You have Saved, Garden State Village, and a series of unfortunate events.
Okay, of course. Oh, there actually you're right. There's so many like fun movies. So yeah, I've seen now. Oh, I love Wicker Park still. I loved it. I watched it again recently, and I still love that movie. Maybe
Good cast.
just the nostalgia of it, of seeing it the first time. I really liked it. The Lady Killers was so much fun. Um, there are really so many. Howard Huckabees was
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah, I'm
You gonna
gonna
do that
go with
one?
Howard. Yeah,
Yeah.
love Howard Huckabees.
I think that's my favorite Mark Wahlberg performance.
Oh yeah, probably. Nay.
He's really
Probably.
good. I showed that to my humanities students, high school seniors. I showed them I Heart Huckabees. I got in
Also,
trouble for that, but I remember watching it and going, "Man, this is good. It's just different, and everyone was so committed."
Yeah, it was also something different and new that like yeah, I mean, and also I'm a sucker for a like a satire movie, so I just really enjoyed it and still do. I also like it's one of those movies that I also ended up being the person that shows it to everyone for the first time because it's not like this mainstream movie, especially not over here. Um, and everyone I've shown it to loves it because it's so funny and quirky and what? And makes you think, but not like too much. Doesn't break your brain. It's just good. And good acting.
Yeah. Oh, Marky W. There's so many movies here. This is bad. I don't know what I'm
I know.
gonna do.
I'm
I,
like,
I saw Dawn of the Dead in a packed theater in Houston, and it felt like 1,000 people just going nuts for it. People
yep,
love that.
yep.
Oh man, so many good movies. But you know what? I'm just gonna go really weird and lose this thing because wait, I'm in September real
It's
quick. Let me
not
flip
about
through this.
winning or
Yeah,
losing, Mark.
because
It's about good movies.
Friday Night Lights too. Crap, what a
I
good
saw
movie.
that too. Oh dear me.
Sideways. Oh my gosh, like it's an event when you open that thing. Like
It's
what a
really
great
a lot of
movie.
stuff. We've got
National Treasure.
Dodgeball, we've got National Treasure.
I'm gonna take the
Like,
big bounce.
uh, okay, I haven't seen that. What is
No
that?
one has to. It's Owen Wilson. It's Owen Wilson, Charlie Sheen, Gary Sinise. It's just a Elmore Leonard-esque. It might be an adaptation of, but it's just Owen Wilson in an island hanging out. And there's a really funny scene where Vinnie Jones goes up to fight Owen Wilson, and Owen Wilson has a bat. And Owen's like, "Why are you trying to attack me? I have a bat." And Vinnie Jones is like, "I don't care." And then Owen just whacks him right in the head with the bat.
Oh
And
wow.
Willie Nelson's in it, and it's a good hangout picture. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody because I haven't watched it in years, but I remember just playing it a lot. Like I liked water movies back then. If you think about it, what did I just
Uh,
pick? Life Aquatic. There's a boat scene in Before Sunset.
mhm.
Coffee. I guess they're drinking it. Dread's on an island. Bounces on an island. Jeez Louise. But yeah, no. Well, yeah, you can go
I
to
love
Movies,
it.
Films, and Flicks and vote on that. Hey, do you want to promote anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, check out our other podcast episodes. Or check out all of them on Movies, Films, and Flicks, and you can follow me on Twitter. I probably by the time this comes out, I always forget, like this probably gonna come out in like a couple of months' time. But yeah, I've got a comic for the Trailer Park Boys out that you can order. Like I'll have links on my Twitter by then, I'm sure. Yeah, check out my stuff on Cracked, right in there. And who knows really where I will be by the time this comes out. So just check out Twitter and follow Movie Films and Flicks. You'll find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining me. This was fun. I'm so happy to like. I
I'm so glad
revisited
we
this
did
and I love it.
this.
Ugh,
So
revisited this
glad.
movie and I think I like it more. And I
Oh,
just really enjoyed covering this movie and it just makes me happy. So I'm
virtual
glad
high
we did
five.
this.
Virtual high
Yeah.
five
Oh,
and
psh.
cereal clinks. Cereal bowl clinks. Click.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how the milk looks.
Yeah.
And coleslaw, bowl of clinking.
Coleslaw. There we
Yeah.
go.
But well, thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Mark.
All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Zanati Boetas, this is Movie Soul to Flicks. We'll see you next week.